Hey there, welcome to SharkCast Pod, a podcast dedicated to the greatest sporting club in the history of the world, the mighty Cronulla Sharks. My name is Sam Shinazzi, I'm an OG from 2015, and we're doing a live stream, but more or less just recording an episode like we would on a Tuesday. It's a big Tuesday, TeamList Tuesday. Any minute now, the teams are going to drop. I have seen one of the teams already, which is exciting and topical, and we'll talk a bit about that. And we will just be doing a regular episode, live stream for about 20 minutes, react to the teams that drop from a few games, and we'll post this as a podcast later on. Also got some KL and Ronaldo interviews to post on the audio side of things. So if you can go check that out later on tonight, you will hear some audio podcasts. We are a couple minutes away from the last regular season round team list being announced. Sharks v Bulldogs at Homebush. Huge game. We'll know how huge it is after Thursday's Brisbane-Melbourne game. There's so much going on, so much to cover. It's crazy. And there are team lists in front of me. I should probably wait until 4 o'clock to go official, otherwise I might get in trouble. But I'm looking at a returning center. I'm looking at a 5'8" that's been named. And a very interesting bench as well. I can tell you that the Bulldogs look pretty full strength. In fact, surprisingly, full strength to the core. So, you know what? It's on NRL.com. Let's just go with it. Sharks at Canterbury. Here's your Sharkies team. Will Kennedy at fullback. Sione Katoa. Ronaldo Mulitalo are your wingers. Returning is Jesse Ramian. His finger is better, and he will start this week. I'm told, getting through his training and everything, he will start. Hey, Troy, thanks for tuning in. KL is there, of course, and you can hear him later on the podcast feed. Trindle has been named. We're on Trindle ankle watch. He's been named. Now, if I had to put a percentage on this, I would suggest he is at 65 to 70% to play. I think it'll be a wait and see. Get through all the training sessions, see what happens. If he can't train, I don't think he'll play. Come back to that. But Trindle's been named, as has Nico Hines. Your props are Adam Fanua-Blake, and Toby Rudolph keeps his starting position. Blake Brayley is captain and hooker. Your back row is Bill Burns, Teague Wilton, and Jesse Colquhoun. So that stays the same as last week. And your immediate bench looks very familiar to last week. Hohepa Puru, Sifa Talakai, Tom Hazelton, and Braden Hamlin-Welly. Your extended bench, 18th man, is Dan Atkinson. Now, he will come in handy should Trindle not get through. In the extended bench, Mawini Hiroti, who unfortunately for him has been pushed back there. We thought that would happen, but he's been great in the past 2 weeks. Jaden Beryl's there. Oregon Kafusi has been named on an extended bench, and Big Chuku Haitapua. So for that extended bench, Atkinson, Hiroti, Beryl, Kafusi, and Tuku. Looking at the Bulldogs team, it's stacked, and that's fine. Let's go get them. Connor Tracy, Anare Tuala, and Marcelo Montoya are the wingers, and the centers are the very talented Bronson Sherry and captain Stephen Crichton. Their halves are Matt Burton. Look out for those bombs, Will, and Lockie Galvin. Max King, Bailey Hayward, and Sam Hughes the front row. Your back row is Kickow, Preston, and Salmon. Salmon or salmon? Obviously, the food is salmon. I don't really care. Kurt Mann is your 14. Tupanua in good form is also on the bench with Josh Curran and Reed Marnie. So their bench is Mann, Tupanua, Curran, and Marnie. So it's pretty good. Extended bench is Jake Turpin, Suluka Fafita, Curtis Moran, Jethro Rinakama, and Toby Sexton is the unlucky number 23. Unlucky for obvious reasons, but again, we don't really care about that. So that's what's going on. Full strength against pretty good full strength. I mean, it has to be said, yeah, we've got Jesse Remian back, so he's our starting center. Trindle, we're not sure about. Wait and see. He's walking around at training. He's in good spirits. He's confident, but obviously they will not risk anything should he not be ready. So that's what's going on. Now, we don't normally do this, but let's go to another team list. Brisbane Storm. And I like what I see there, guys and girls. And I like this because we need Melbourne to win so we can go for fourth. Pappenhausen at fullback. Warbrick and Coates on the wing. Anderson and Meany are your centers. Munster and Jerome Hughes are your halves. Big Nelson, Bronson Garlick, and Josh King is your front row. Your back row is Lasati, Katoa, and Lorero. Bench is Wishart, McDonald, Big Tua Kamika, and Joe Chan. And that's that. So Melbourne are pretty full strength. They're missing their hooker, I believe, through judiciary, but they're pretty full strength. They're coming to play, coming to win. Pappenhausen, Munster, Hughes. Let's go. Brisbane, they look pretty much as they did last week, and they're in pretty good form. But I don't mind this at all. I don't mind out how it's panning. And that puts the pressure on the Sharks to win their game against the Bulldogs, which, of course, they want to do. And we want them to do. So that's very interesting. Is there any other team lists we need to look at? I don't think at the moment we need to worry about other team lists for this round. But that's what's going on there. Melbourne are pretty much full strength, thank goodness. But it all depends on the Sharks getting the win. So we have Ramian back. We have Trindle named. We have Kafusi on an extended bench. So all of a sudden, the bench and the extended bench is getting pretty packed, which is good. Hard for Fitzy to make his choices, perhaps. Dan Atkinson is on standby. If anything should not be good with him, then I think the next situation up, you might see either a Hohepa come in, or you might see the old 1/2 kind of situation, which we saw against Newcastle in the second half. Well, there's a few different things you can do there, but I think Acko will be right to go if Trindle is not good. That's pretty interesting stuff. Troy says, I feel like Tricky will play for sure if Brisbane lose to the Storm. I don't know. Like, I understand what you're saying, and I appreciate that. I don't know if it's going to come down to that. I think if he's okay to play, he'll just play. I don't know about your thought there. Understand it. Don't know if that's the case. Brad says, we're playing for a top 4 spot against a top 4 team. Will it be too much for us to handle? We don't have a good track record in must-win games. Time will tell. Yeah, that's not the worst point this year, Brad, but, we got to go for it, right? This is it. Time to play. Let's get that second bite. Let's go to Canberra and, shock the world. That's what I'm doing. And so is Joe from Mr. Paisley's. Let's go get that top 4 spot. Interesting times. Just looking at some of the matchups. Connor Tracy versus Will Kennedy. That's a storybook in itself. Connor Tracy having a good year. He's made the second most run meters this year for a player. Kennedy's had a return to form in the last few weeks, which has been good. Now, Montoya versus Katoa. Mulatalo versus Tuala, maybe? Is that how it's going to line up? KL against Crichton. Ramian against Sherry, perhaps. I don't mind all that. But the Dogs' backs are pretty good. Now, Matt Burton's kicks. I know he doesn't bomb every time, but when he does, it's quite problematic. It's scary. We've seen them go up. It's scary. I think that Canterbury, when he's kicking well, they are winning games. They've won, I think, one of the past 4 or 2 of the past 6. They're not in great form, the Bulldogs. They can turn that around, obviously, with this stacked team. And I think Trindle playing obviously makes it a lot better for us. But then again, if he's not completely there, we don't want to rush him in. But Burton and Lockie Galvin, we've seen what they can do, both good and indifferent. Ghastly 10 says it's a shame that Hiroti loses his spot. And I agree, but that's just business. Darby's on a similar level, saying I feel dirty saying this as I like him, but disappointed Ramian was named. So I will say this, it's Ramian's 150th game for the Sharks, and we've seen him lift in big games, and he's more of a big game player than not. So I do have faith in the guy, and I do feel like on their day, he's the better player than Mawini. So if we go with that notion, I don't think you need to be disappointed. Let's wait and see on that one. But obviously, Hiroti's been great. Kim is watching. Hi, Kim. She's a Shark from way back. Ghastly says, any words on late arresting calls? No, I don't know if we're going to arrest anyone if there's nothing to play for, aside from maybe Trindle or someone who's under an injury cloud. So we wait and see on that one. But I don't have any word on that. No, I don't. Our friend PK says, good afternoon. Can we run through scenarios if we win? What will the games be next week? And if we lose? Oh, PK, you're freaking me out here. I'm only got a limited amount of time. But let's see what we can do. So if we win, and we're in the top 4. So if Melbourne win, we win, we will play Canberra. Now, there's no even close to official times, but it will be in Canberra. And at this stage, I'm led to believe there is a chance it'll be the Sunday. Do not take that as gospel. Do not book your tickets. But Canberra might be on the Sunday. If we finish 5th or 6th, then we play at Sharks Stadium. It'll be probably against Penrith or the Roosters. And I don't know when that'll be. I'm leaning towards the Saturday, but again, do not hold me to that because I don't have the info. I'm just hearing things and they're from pretty good people, but what they're hearing isn't concrete. So don't go with that. But they're the 3 likely opponents, PK. Canberra in Canberra. And then at home, if we win, but don't make 4th, or if we lose, it'll be Roosters or Penrith, most likely. Dolphins are in the hunt for things, but I don't know. Well, it is a bit of a wait and see. They're the most likely scenarios. I hope that explained that pretty good. My man Brendan says if we can match them in the back, the game will be decided in the forwards. I don't mind that because I look at their forwards, Brendan. I got the very good Max King against the awesome Fanua Blake. I got Bailey Hayward against Blake Brayley. I like that. I got Sam Hughes against Toby Rudolph. Might be a bit even there. Kickout against Burns. Obviously, that's a stretch for Billy to be the better player, but Billy's been really good. Kickout is one of their most dangerous players. Preston versus Teague. I like that. And Salmon against Colquhoun. I think we win that one. So bench as well last week changed the game, as you saw. If the bench stays this way, if it's Talakai, Hazleton, and Hamlin Welly, although their bench is good, Tupanua, Curran, and Marnie and Kurtman. So, yeah, it might come down to that. We saw that, Brennan, in round 4. We went toe-to-toe with them. Then the second half, we crumbled, and they won 20 points to 4. So, see what happens. Ghastly 10. The good news is the Broncos and Storm, both teams, are fit and firing. Melbourne are probably the fittest they can be without Harry at 9. He's on suspension. But they've named Pappenhausen, they've named Hughes, they've named Munster. They look pretty good. They're going there to win. Whether they do or not, I'm not sure, but you'd think that they're on a mission. So that is really good news for us. Now, let's hear from Doc. Doc says, huge match for us. Both teams look to be at full strength. If we can match them and compete for the full 80. Yeah, the full 80 is the big problem, isn't it, Doc? Hasn't happened much this year. But everything to play for. It's going to be, pretty intimidating location. There's going to be a lot of Dogs fans there. I would imagine unfortunately, they'll probably outvoice our fans, and it's going to be a rocking atmosphere as it always is for Dogs games. But the way to silence that crowd is to play well early, score early, etc. So definitely not an impossible mission. Like, we can win this one, but it's going to take a lot of good footy, complete your sets. They need to start well. They didn't start well last week. They need to start well. Start well, and it goes a long way to winning the game, in my opinion. Now, the NRLW have a pretty important game as well. They are playing the Bulldogs in the game before at Homebush. And I'm just going to have a quick look at their team because we're very interested in the NRLW. They do get their own episode, though, NRLW, so we're not going to labor too long on this because we haven't got much time anyway. But I can tell you, Jada Taylor's playing fullback. The backs look as per from last week. In fact, 1 to 13, they look as per. Jacinta Carter comes in off the extended bench to the bench, which is great because we're big fans of hers. I'm not sure. There might be someone missing from that, but Caitlin Johnston Green and Rhiannon Byers are not named. So it is different. I apologize. That's no good. Okay, so Jada Kitafua comes in. She's really good in the second row. She replaces Byers, and Johnston Green is out as well. So we'll chase that up during the week. You'll be hearing from some of the superstars in that team. They play the Bulldogs. We've got to keep winning. I think we're in 3rd or 4th now, which is awesome. So NRLW is going great. So if you can get out and support both teams, I'm sure they'd be most appreciative. But Sharks, NRL, boy, it's a big week. It's a big week. It's huge. I can't wait to sink my teeth into all this. And yes, the Melbourne-Brisbane game will be fascinating. We're all going to be cheering on the Storms, unless you're one of those people that doesn't want to finish top 4 for whatever reason. Maybe you're one of those people you just want to play at Shark Stadium and that's it. But I certainly want to go to Canberra and have some fun down there as a team. And Ghastly 10 says, have you ever wanted a Storm team to win so much in your life? I mean, I did mention it on the postgame, I think, in 08. There were 2 examples. So the Warriors had to beat Melbourne in Melbourne, and they did. So that was losing. But then for some reason, I wanted Melbourne to beat Brisbane in the week 2 game to play Melbourne for some strange reason. Why would I want to do that in 08? But that's what happened. So Melbourne are always like in our conscious. I was doing some media down today at the Sharks Stadium, and everyone's in pretty upbeat mood, pretty serious mood, very workman-like. Spoke with KL and spoke with Ronaldo officially on the mic, and you'll be hearing those interviews in the audio version of this later on. And spoke to a number of other players. They're pretty upbeat. I spoke to Trindle. He's confident he'll play. I wouldn't bet my life on it. But as I said at the start of the show, maybe 65%, 70% chance. And it's going to be a good one, man. Bulldogs, Canterbury. We sort of thought it would come down to this, and unfortunately it has. A number of people mentioned it in the post-game. It shouldn't have come down to this. We should have beaten Canberra. We should have beaten the Dragons. We should have beaten the Broncos. We should have beaten... I left someone out. Whatever. It doesn't matter. There's 4 or 5 games now we should have really, really legitimately won and been way ahead of where we are and not have to worry about this stuff. But this is the reality. And so let's go get it. Let's get the win. But yeah, there's a part of me that's a little bit like, why didn't you hang on against Canberra? Why didn't you beat the Dragons the other week? That part of me cannot hang on to that stuff because it's bad for you. Got to look forward. And it's going to be a big match. And the result's going to be interesting, and the margin for the winner and the loser is going to be interesting. The Bulldogs, I don't think, have anything to play for aside from getting in the mood for the finals. Do they take it easy? Do the players worry about injury? Is there something on their minds? Joe says, I believe Kieran called it months back on the show. Let's not give Kieran too much more limelight than he already gets, please. I'm sure I said it too. I'm sure lots of our guests said it. Just kidding, Kieran. Yeah. He probably did. He's a smart guy, Kieran, and this is how it is. There's a romance in it, that's for sure. Ghastly 10 says if the Storm lose, they can maybe get the home final, but unlikely. Yeah, maybe. I'm sure you're right in what you're saying. Sharks at Homebush, 7:35 p.m. It's going to be a rip up. We've got more episodes coming for you throughout the week. We're going to do a flagship. We're going to do NRLW. We've got interviews, which is going to be the audio version of this. I'm hopeful we'll do Gaz and Shinazzi. Stick with us. We've got a lot of content coming for you. I say content, a lot of entertainment for you. A lot of, what do you guys want to call it? A lot of fun. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. Sharks at Bulldogs. Let's go. Let us go. Also, it should be pointed out that all our grades are in finals. Flegg get the double bite, double chance. On Saturday, they play Canberra at Cogra. And the Jets play after that, possibly against Canberra. That's first week of finals, I believe, for both. And then we have NRLW have already locked in a spot, which is unbelievable given the sort of average start they had to the year. So we're doing all right. Doing all right. Every year we're making finals. It's what you do there, though, that counts. And we're not sure where we're going to land this time around. We all, I keep saying we all. I think we all really want to finish fourth. But yes, it's going to be fun. Let us know your thoughts. Get in touch with us, sharkcastpod@gmail.com, sharkcast.com.au. You can leave a message there, either a voice message or just a note via your keyboard. You can drop us DMs in a bunch of the social medias, which we'll see, most notably Instagram, the X, and the Facebook. We're also on TikTok and other things, but I don't check them that often. And we'd love to hear from you. Your thoughts on this game, on the team list, on what you would do. Would you have Jesse straight back in? Would you persist and stick with Hiroti? What are you doing with Oregon Kaufusi? There's so much to talk about. We're going to do it all week long. Can't wait for it. 4:20. It's almost my deadline. Appreciate everyone sticking around, having fun. Just a bit of an impromptu thing. We started doing live streams for Team Lists at the start of the year, and that was a lot of fun. Then we've been doing the podcast version available at 4:00. But I thought, given it was a big game this week with Team Lists, and that Melbourne game was very intriguing to me. So in case Ghastly 10, you haven't seen the team. Melbourne, Pappenhausen, Warbrick, Anderson, Meaney, Coates, Munster, Hughes, Big Nelson, Bronson, Garlick at hooker, King, Lasati, Katoa, Loureiro, bench of Wishart, McDonald, Kamakamika, and Chan. Extended bench, Seve, Howarth, Pezzett, Bradley, and Villepu. So the other mob Brisbane are, I think, as they were last week or close to it. You know, Reece Walsh is there, Staggs is there. Billy Walters at 6, Ben Hunt at 7, Payne House is there, Carrigan's there. So they're a pretty good team. So I don't want to focus too much on the Melbourne thing. I know I have, but I guess we need them to win for us to get to where we want to be. That's why I'm doing it. So it's sort of one battle at a time. Then we have the battle against Canterbury where we need to win. So it's all very well if Melbourne win and then we get smoked, and that's not much fun. So let me know where you want to sit, where you want to finish, who you want to play week 1. I want to hear it all. Not so much here, but drop us a line elsewhere and we will respond and have a chat about it. My name's Sam Shinazzi, OG 2015. This is SharkCast Pod. If it's your first time somehow tuning in via the internet, algorithms, hello. Sharks rule. We're the greatest team in the world. We're the best stadium in the world. And we'd love you to join our little crew. It's not that little. It's worldwide. It's lots and lots of people who tune in, and we appreciate each and every one of them. And they communicate with us and they have fun. and we'd love you to join us. We'd do all that sort of stuff, podcasts, video sites, social medias, up Cronulla. You know what I haven't done? I always forget this. I always forget about the Instagram. Hey, Riley Pollard, good luck on the weekend, sir. Hello, Jason Hawes. Hello, Jardine Ormsby overseas. Hello, Ash, you're an OG Sharkcaster here. I need an assistant to help me to remember to go over to these Instagrams and these sort of things. Drew says, hopefully Kafusi is back. Clevo said, leak the list. That was a while ago. Hello. Any news on the assistant coach? Not yet, Jason. I asked today and there's no real news there. Clevo says, justice for my weenie. Josh Bowling's back from Hawaii. That's awesome. Jay says, great result with the Storm team named Bar Grant and Sean Bloor. Hello to Greasy. And he picked that this would be the deciding game when they booked tickets back in June. They're driving down from Taree. That's awesome. Quilly says, if top 4, do we dare to dream? Yes, we do. We dare to dream. This is what we want to do. It's no use just sitting there going, things are dull. Let's dream. Grey Shark says, who let the Sharks out? Come on home finals. Greasy said 4th. And Grey Shark says, the Broncos have the edge, a magic drink of toilet water. And if you don't know what that is, go Google it. It's horrific. Thank you to everyone on the Insta. Appreciate you. All right, got to wrap it up. Have a great rest of the day. We're going to be recording later on, I think. Oh, maybe not. Josh, get back to me. We'll be recording the flagship in the next 24, I hope, and we'll get that out to you. And lots more coming. NRL dub, some Gaz and Shinazzi, a bunch more, as much as we can physically and mentally do, I guess. Up Cronulla. Thank you so much for everything. You guys rule. Let's go.